So, what if I told you that the whole 8-hour sleep rule is basically a myth? Yeah. See, we're always told to focus on the quantity of our sleep, right? But the real secret to waking up feeling amazing, it has almost nothing to do with a clock. It's all about understanding how your brain's own internal timer really works.
I mean, you've been there, right? You do everything you're supposed to do. You go to bed on time, you get your solid 8 hours, and then the alarm goes off and you feel like you've been hit by a train. That groggy, just heavy feeling, that's a huge red flag that something is fundamentally wrong.
And that's because you're not alone in this. Here's the big mindset shift we need to make. The problem isn't how many hours you're sleeping, it's about whether you're completing your sleep cycles. We've got to stop counting hours and start thinking about the actual structure of our sleep.
Okay, so this really gets to the core of it. We are obsessed with what we can call clock time. You know, just the raw number of hours you're in bed. But your brain, it couldn't care less about that. It operates on brain time, and that's all about completing these super important repeating biological cycles.
So what exactly is that cycle? Well, it all boils down to one single, incredibly important number: 90. Seriously, forget the number 8 for a second. 90 minutes, that is the real building block of a great night's sleep.
The best way to think about it is like this. Each 90-minute cycle is a full-on maintenance program for your brain and your body. It's a journey. You move through these different stages, right? You start in light sleep, then you go down into that really restorative deep sleep, and then into REM sleep, which is where all the mental magic happens. Then boom, the whole thing starts all over again.
And it's super important to note, these stages are not the same at all. Deep sleep, that's for your body. Think physical repair, rebuilding muscle, supporting your immune system. REM sleep, on the other hand, that's for your mind. It's where you're processing emotions, solidifying memories, maybe even coming up with your next big idea. You absolutely need both to feel genuinely restored.
Okay, so this brings us right back to that horrible morning feeling. If our brains are wired to run in these neat little cycles, then why do we so often wake up feeling like we're in a battle with our own bodies?
Well, there's a name for it: sleep inertia. It's that brain fog, that complete disorientation you feel when your alarm clock just rips you out of the middle of a sleep cycle, especially when it pulls you out of that deep, restorative stage. It's not a gentle wake-up call. It's like hitting the emergency brake.
You know a perfect way to picture it? Imagine you're updating your computer, and someone just pulls the plug right in the middle. That is exactly what's happening to your brain. It hasn't finished its crucial maintenance and reboot process. So when you force it back online, of course it's going to be slow, buggy, and just not work right. So this is absolutely key. If you want to get those nice, complete sleep cycles, you have to fall asleep the right way to begin with. And this all comes down to your brain waves. See, during the day, your brain is humming along in a beta state. You're alert, you're focused, you're solving problems. But to get great sleep, you need to gently downshift into a calm, relaxed alpha state.
Think about it. If you're checking work emails or scrolling through your phone and then just jump into bed, your brain is still firing on all cylinders in that beta state. Trying to force yourself to sleep then, it's literally like slamming on the brakes while going 80 miles an hour. It's not going to be a smooth stop.
So what's the fix? How do we actually do this? Well, we need a simple, repeatable process to guide our brain from that high-octane beta state down to that chill alpha state. And that, my friends, is where the 3-2-1 power down rule comes in. It's a game changer. And this is so simple, but it is so effective. It goes like this. 3 hours before you plan to sleep. No more big meals, no more stressful work. Cut it off. 2 hours before bed. Disengage from any kind of heavy problem solving. No intense conversations, no planning your week. And then, that last hour, that's the golden hour. No more screens, 0, and dim the lights.
What you're doing with each of these steps is sending a powerful signal. You're basically telling your nervous system, hey, the day is done. It's safe to power down now. And that gives it the green light to finally begin those deep, restorative, high-quality sleep cycles that your brain and body are just begging for.
So when you put it all together, this really demands a whole new mindset for sleep. We have to get away from thinking it's a numbers game about hours. It's not. It's a quality game, and the name of the game is cycles. So I want you to try this. Tomorrow morning when you wake up, don't ask yourself, did I get 8 hours? Instead, ask yourself a better question. Did I complete enough high-quality cycles? Ask yourself, did my brain actually get to finish its work? That's the real measure of a good night's sleep. Because at the end of the day, that's the whole goal, isn't it? To start working with your brain's natural rhythm instead of constantly fighting against it. Sleep isn't about knocking yourself out for a certain number of hours. It's about creating the perfect environment for your brain to do its most important work. So the real question is, are you ready to stop fighting the clock and finally start working with your cycles?